your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin. Subject. Spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. We're leaving the kings of all crowns. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Ready, set, steady, back. Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all. Peak flow.
Coach, these folks in the Circle City, they love their Colts, and they have packed the house tonight as we welcome you to Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Indianapolis Colts. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Mayfield to throw it. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
Let's go, Pete.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Give him 30 yards there. Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback, running back, usually quarterback. A lot of bias. Does he deserve consideration?
He more than deserves consideration because the way the game is played in the NFL now, it's a pass-first league, right? So that means that people are going to adjust their defenses for him each and every week, and he's still putting up big-time numbers. I know the quarterbacks and running backs get it, but he should be firmly in the race for MVP.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. And Mayfield just getting the play off. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. Now, keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense, everybody wants a piece of that pie.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Taywan Taylor, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go. Take over first down team at their own 30-yard line.
Here we go.
So first and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go.
They'll run with a former Ole Miss Rebel, Jordan Wilkins. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. 180! Mike, 54. Watch the curl.
To throw is Garoppolo. That one brought in by his tight end, Adam Shaheen. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Here we go. 180! Check. Watch 54. Keep it up, defense. I got you. Right there. 21. 54, Mike. Rip right. Hey, seam 6.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. He'll find Hines out of the backfield. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down.
Slam. 12, fellas. Here we go.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the Browns' 45-yard line.
Here we go.
Check. Watch it before. Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
On 2nd and 12, Garoppolo. He's got the first down here inside the 30 and all the way down to the 25-yard line. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 25-yard line.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? A gain of 6 there on first. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And he is all the way up past the 25.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Browns 7, Colts nothing.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Working out of the gun. Mayfield flush to his right. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're 1 to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Protein spill.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Good. 180. 59. Get the ball.
On 3rd down, Mayfield escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Terrell Basham make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Charles, what a slacker. 5 sacks last week. Took him all the way to the 2nd quarter to get one here in this one.
And just think about all the planning that went into this game to try and keep him from getting to the quarterback. After 1 quarter, maybe they exhaled and thought, hey, we've got this. Oh, no, you don't. You've got to come up with another plan, more looks, maybe even more bodies to keep him out of the backfield.
They begin the drive with Hines. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Hey, Charlie.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Let's go.
19 more yards. That's another Colts first down.
Here we go.
44-yard line.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
Garoppolo on 1st down. Looking for Campbell downfield. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it. Couldn't get it. And it's 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Got him in. It's Brown. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Here we go, here we go.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches.
Kill. Turn it up. Kill.
Black.
Watch the twist. Watch the
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And it's taken in at the 9. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Browns drive about to get started. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
At the 28-yard line.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Hey, we're 33.
Mayfield now. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
58, boy, 58, 58, come on.
Hey, exit.
Looking to throw on second down. Mayfield. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards on the play. And just like that, it's third down. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Third and short yardage. Mayfield. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Mayfield brings him up first and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, second and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now Mayfield's throw finds Callaway complete. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target.
Hey, orbit.
Mayfield on first down. He finds his target, Beckham. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier. When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Looking for Campbell downfield. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10.
Let's go heavy. Let's go heavy. Heavy what you got.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his second there.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football, and we just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
65.
Stay still playing soft. Y'all playing.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And he fields it cleanly.
Let's go. Let's do it.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a 1st down. Garoppolo now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60% at its 1st and 10. Now it's Hines. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 36. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the 1st half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Here's Hines, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now Garoppolo. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a 2nd half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A loss of 2 there, second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Terrell Basham in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. On 2nd down, it's Hines. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180!
Here I come! Here I come! Here I come!
Garoppolo now. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And this will be taken at the 13. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. The Browns drive about to get started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field. 3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Mike.
180!
Switch up, switch up.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. From the 24, Mayfield. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
It's a gain of 6. First down, Browns.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
Point it right, point it right, point it right.
Now Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 33-yard line.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Regular. Hey, Delta.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. And the Colts pick it up. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever talked to says what?
No turnovers.
Don't turn the ball over. 0. And they were that close to getting it done. Won't cost them today, but they'll hate that when they're watching the game tape.
The Browns drive about to get started. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, well, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Mayfield now, 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10.
Rush in.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And some space here. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jerick McKinnon. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Browns. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it is 28-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. This is Hines. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Garoppolo able to find Shaheen here. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Hey, they're scared. They're scared. Hurry. We got motion. Back up.
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. From the 41, Mayfield. Buying time to his left. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Alert, 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 alert. Watch out.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This is McCaffrey. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule, trying to get...
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Here we go. Here we go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 9.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Cleveland, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, The loss is number 8 for them on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.